Well, if it ain't something going on in the transfer portal, what do you think that might be today? You should already know by now, as it's already come out. And told you, I told you, I got all these crash outs from South Carolina all over my comments on my video on MiLaysia Fulwiley. Is she portal bound? After she lights into Dawn Staley on Sunday in the post-game interviews. And guess what? MiLaysia Fulwiley has entered the portal. Told you. It was my opinion that that's what she would do. And it happened. It's been reported in the last 2 hours that she is entering the transfer portal. And if you're surprised, then you're delusional. If you're not, then you're like me. You use your common sense, you use logic, and you knew they weren't running 3 guards out there that were 5'10 and below. You knew that with Taniyah Latson brought into the fray, that MiLaysia Fulwiley was going to be on the outs. There was no logical reason for her to return, and she has decided to enter the transfer portal. Welcome, everyone, to another edition of Rudy's Rant, Her Game, Her Way Women's Basketball. We talk facts over feelings. I'm your host, Rudy Rodriguez Showmont. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. Ring the bell, leave a comment. This is Transfer Portal 101. We are bringing transfer portal news pretty much for the rest of this month as things pop off. It's official. MiLaysia Fulwiley's in the portal. Here it says in the Greenville News. Here it says in the Greenville News. Here it says South Carolina women's basketball star MiLaysia Fulwiley plans to enter the transfer portal. Sources told the Greenville News. I had someone on my page who claimed to be the god brother of her who said that she wasn't going anywhere. You don't know. They laugh at us. They were laughing at the podcasters. They were laughing at me when I said what I said. When I never actually said she was doing it, I said she should do it. I predicted that she would do it. It was just a matter of when she would do it. It has not been public at the time of this, printing. The sources requested anonymity, whatever, because no public announcement has been made. The transfer portal opened March 25th and closes April 22nd. She can still go back to school if she wants to, but she's going to have a laundry list of schools that want her. There was concern that this would happen after Taniyah Latson committed to South Carolina, assuming either Fulwiley or sophomore Tessa Johnson's minutes would be cut into the new guard lineup. Tessa Johnson's minutes were not going to be cut because she's a role player, and she knew she was a role player, and she played her role as a perimeter shooter. Raven Johnson's going back to school, obviously. Never expected her to not go back to school. It's a given. Fulwiley went to school just 10 miles from the, South Carolina campus, the arena, Colonial Life Arena. I kind of feel bad for her, honestly. I do feel bad for her because this was, her hometown school. This was her hometown school. And I mean, here it says, they're calling this a shocker. She plans to enter the portal. What does this mean? What does this mean? The Columbia native has often been called a generational talent by Dawn Staley. Well, see this? You call her a generational talent, and then you barely play her. Can you imagine being called a generational talent and not being played? Wow. Can you imagine if Lisa Bluter had called Caitlin Clark a generational talent and then sat her on the bench? While she was known for her flashy highlight capabilities and improved on defense this year, she showed signs of streaky shooting and had turnover troubles down the stretch of the season. We all saw it. It's unfortunate ending for MiLaysia Fulwiley, naturally. Like I said, I do feel kind of bad for her because I don't think she was really ever given the opportunity to really, really play, to play her game her way, like that plug, right? I think it was really something that if she had been allowed to play her game her way, you might see a player that's different. You might see a player with confidence. You might see a player that's excited and feels good about how she plays. Instead, you got a player that was hesitant, not sure of herself, someone that whenever she made a mistake, she knew that she was probably going to get pulled out of the game. And I was very, very clear on the things that I said when I said them because I know what I witnessed. I heard what she said. I heard her words. And it's pretty apparent that you would feel kind of bad if your coach is not playing you, but at the same time, you voiced your opinion, and I don't know that the coach can get over what you said about her. She aired it out on Dawn Staley. I mean, this is Dawn Staley probably right now. This is probably Dawn Staley's reaction right now. With Fulwiley leaving, this is probably how she's feeling right about now. She's mad. She big mad. She has to have expected it. I can't imagine that she didn't expect it. You know, I think it's there's cryptic posts that you give here on Twitter, X, and when you see this particular post, for example, there's a post from Bree Hall today where it says, for 4 years, your 4 years may not have always been easy, but you stayed true to Breezy, and it's beautiful to see. Can't wait to see what's next for you, Breezy Hall. This is South Carolina Dawn Staley reposting something that South Carolina women's basketball posted. Um, You have been a winner on and off the court. You came, you gave, you conquered. We were better because of you. Now the WNBA and the world gets what you gave us. Love you, Breezy. But when you actually go back and look at this particular post where she reposted this, all this stuff is done. You guys don't understand that all this stuff is done strategically. Brian Hall, that's apparently, I guess, the parent. Coach, we thank you so much for pouring into Breezy and giving her the opportunity to play there. We are forever grateful. And this is Dawn Staley. Mr. Hall, you and Sean have been parents who get it. Thank you for having the strong balance of supporting Breezy and seeing the dynamics of our team. Everyone one love. Interesting. Interesting. I wonder if there's a slight shot to other parents who don't get it. No, what they get is that they need their kid to have an opportunity to play. I understand it. I get it. You just brought someone in to take the spot that I don't even have yet because you haven't given me. Again, I don't believe in anything being given. I think she was their best guard, and she didn't play. And even still, there's nothing posted on her Twitter, her X or whatever you call it. I always call it Twitter. Let me see if there's anything on her Instagram yet. But she's out the door. She averaged over 11 points per game. She was the second leading scorer on the team. You know, she still has her South Carolina stuff listed on her profile on Instagram. She probably hasn't pulled that crap off yet. She probably knows where she wants to go. I'm thinking that she's probably end up in that area, maybe North Carolina, Chapel Hill, maybe Duke. I think Kara Lawson would love to have her. Might she end up at Notre Dame, like with Hannah Hidalgo? possibility. I think she stays local, though. I think she stays as local as possible because people do make, obviously her parents probably want to see her play, and going to Notre Dame makes it more difficult. Her girlfriend is at South Carolina, from what I've been told many, many times. But I can see her at North Carolina or Duke or even NC State. I think all three schools would be very, very happy to have her there. And now it's a matter of what's next for MiLaysia Fulwiley. What does she decide? She is now the number one target on the list for school. She's the number one transfer portal player now. A lot of them have already made decisions. So, what is her decision going to be, and how long does she take to make it? We shall see. But MiLaysia Fulwiley is in the portal, as as I figured she would be. It made no sense for her to continue at South Carolina. It just didn't make sense. And people get mad about it, but it never made sense. Why would she not get in the portal? You just brought in a player to take her job. Like I said, I don't think you give it away, but she wasn't going to win that job. I mean, you just brought in number one scorer in the country. Like, please. What do you think? What do you think? The writing is on the wall. You don't want me here. You don't want. But like I said, going back earlier this week, I thought she was headed to the portal. Her comments made you think she's going to the portal, and she did. And I got all these South Carolina, crash outs losing their minds, tell me I'm out of my mind, tell me I'm crazy. And so now what do you got to say? What you got to say now? What you got to say now? Sound like a kid, right? Sound like the kids. What you gonna say now? I don't care if she transfers or not, but I thought it was obvious what was gonna happen, and now it's in the works, and she's out of there. You let me know your thoughts in the comments. Are you hurt? Are you sad? Are you depressed? Are you happy? Are you, whatever? Let me know your feelings. Let me know your thoughts. I want to hear what you got to say. South Carolina fans, please stand up. I want you to puff your chest with the same energy for which you came here earlier this week to tell me that I'm out of my mind. Mr. Godbrother, where are you? Please jump on here. Please let me know. I appreciate y'all. Like, subscribe, follow, hit the bell, leave a comment. Rudy's rant, her game, her way, women's basketball. Come on now.